What up, my fellow YouTube nerds, my fellow fantasy football nerds? It's me here, Daniel, again with my week 2 wrap up. Right now, I'm going to talk to you guys about my studs and duds of this past week, Thursday all the way through Monday, because man, were there some random guys that kind of did so well that you weren't expecting it, and there's other guys that just fell off the face of the earth. I'm not saying that these are drops or pickups for fantasy. I'm just saying if you had them on your team and you started them and they were duds, you're sad and you probably had a bad week. If you had these guys on your bench and you didn't start them, you're probably kicking yourself, but kind of a mixed round. So without further ado, I just want to get into it. So my number one would be Dalvin Cook. He's been doing really good the past 2 weeks. He's been a very consistent running back. They've been feeding him the ball, rushing and passing. He has 265 yards of just rushing yards in 2 weeks, which is really good. I think he's the leading back right now in rushing. And also he's been scoring upwards of around like 25 points in half PPR. That's generally how I scale it. That way you get a good middle ground. Also, I play 2 half PPRs, so that kind of helps me with my grading system. Next would be Odell Beckham Jr. with, of course, his crazy catch and then the crazy slant route that he had. But he just had a really good day. I mean, you got to give up to him. Good day, Odell Beckham. But, I mean, he had two TDs, but they're against a pretty shoddy defense and a team that kind of seemed to give up after a few players have gotten injured. So, but since Jets didn't show up, that doesn't mean anything. Cleveland did still blow them out of the water, which was expected. Next would be pretty obvious. It's going to be Pat Mahomes. I mean, you're expecting him to do good, but not like this. I mean, just straight killing it through 2 weeks. I mean, he's running for that next MVP candidate, or it's just a win at least. I mean, he's gonna probably get it if he keeps this up. 400 yards and over 400 yards in one game. Like seriously, he might blow out a bunch of records. Number 4 would be Aaron Jones. I was actually kind of surprised about this one. I didn't think he was gonna do this well, but he actually showed up. He got like over 100 yards rushing and a touchdown on top of it, which is good. So he got like over 100 yards rushing, and he got a passing touchdown, which is solid for any Green Bay running back, honestly. Number 5 would be John Ross. No one really expected him to do good at all really this season. They just kind of thought he'd be a fill-in, especially even after week 1. They decided he'd be like the fluke of the week 1s, but actually he stepped up even harder for week 2, and he's been killing it. So John Ross, I'd pick him up if you don't have him in your waivers yet. So after that would be Lamar Jackson. Wow, Lamar Jackson, you're catching me shocked because I did not expect that out of you. 250 yards passing, 120 yards rushing, 2 passing touchdowns. Man, that's impeccable for any quarterback, let alone a sophomore with this team. I mean, it's not a great team. They have a lot of missing holes, but he's really filling them in for them. I think he's going to continue to do good. I need at least like 4 or 5 weeks of real info on him to really get a hone in on him. But at this point, I think he's going to keep it up. I think he's going to do well. And last but not least, it's Travis Kelce. I mean, of course, he's like the number 2, number 1 tight end picked up in fantasy drafts. But seriously, he had himself a day. I mean, this is what you want from a tight end. You want him to produce like a wide receiver, running back type, with 7 receptions for 107 yards and a touchdown. That is literally in the 20s of points. That's impeccable. I mean, if you don't have Travis Kelce, He's still probably pretty good, but man, he's just gonna help a bunch of people win their fantasy leagues this year. Unfortunately, I don't have him in any of my leagues. I thought he might have a little downfall, but you know what? I'm wrong at some points in my life. Not a lot of points, but some points right there. So on to the duds. I mean, because you want to do this, you want to get the good out before you do the bad. You want to get the sugar before you get the salt. So the duds are just guys that didn't perform how they should have. They probably were in your rosters starting, and now they might not even be starting next week. Some probably will, but a lot won't. So number one, he definitely won't be starting for anyone next week. That'd be my boy Drew Brees. He got an injury on his hand, I believe, or his wrist. He's out like 6 weeks. That drops everyone on that team down, from Kamara to Michael Thomas to the defense. I mean, they're all going to be worse without him, which sucks. Because I like Drew Brees. He's a great guy, but that's what happens with age. It's going to happen to all of us. But he plays a game where it's more prevalent. Number two is going to be James Conner. He didn't have a solid week 1. He's not even having a solid week 2. And I'm pretty sure his week 3 through 17 are just going to be as bad. Because, man, without Ben Roethlisberger, who could have been on my duds, but honestly I wasn't going to put him on it because it's unfair. I mean, I already put Drew Brees. That was more on the team, but Ben Roethlisberger being out for the year, he has no choice. James Conner, kind of screwed. Next is going to be Devin Singletary. The Bills just don't seem to know what they want to do with him. I mean, there's so much they probably could, but they just haven't been able to. They've been leaning on Frank Gore more. They let go of LaShawn McCoy because they're going to use Devin Singletary more, but now he's not only hurt, but underutilized and just not looking solid through 2 weeks, which I kind of expected. Just not my kind of guy. Great guy, but just not my kind of player. Next, for number 4, would be TJ Hopkins. Yeah, everyone was hyping him up like he was the next freaking Gronkowski. And now everyone's kind of crapping the bed. I mean, I took a flyer on Oakland's tight end, but this tight end I was not thinking that was going to be the same thing. So TJ Hopkins only had 1 catch for like 8 yards or something like that. It was pretty bad, pretty lackluster, but pretty predictable on my part. Yay me. 5 is going to be David Johnson. He's been disappointing for the past like 2 years now. I was not going to draft him after he kind of screwed me last year, and I wasn't seeing any kind of improvement through the offseason, preseason kind of thing. So, not surprised that he's not haven't been produced at all, or been producing at all these past 2 weeks. I mean, he's like an RB3 right now to me. That's borderline. Number 6 is going to be DeAndre Hopkins. It's not his fault. They had the quarterback or Watson. He was kind of limping around because the line's not helping him too much. But I mean, he still did okay with 5 receptions for 4 yards. But you didn't drop him to get yourself 7 to 9 points. You dropped them to get you like 20 points. So a little bit of a disappointment on his behalf. But like I said, not his fault, and you're probably definitely going to still start him next week in any fantasy league. If you don't, that's wrong. Especially going against the Chargers. He should do better. The last but not least, because he actually has been doing the worst, would be Deontay Freeman. He got, I think it was like 12 carries for like 24 yards, which is despicable. I mean, it's 2 yards a carry. He's kind of just hasn't done anything. He's kind of what's made Atlanta's offense worse, unfortunately. I do have Julio Jones, which I'm so happy he does pretty good each week, regardless of the roster. But at the same time, it's not good for the future of the Falcons. I mean, they gotta go after someone pretty soon by like trade deadline or beginning of next year, because they're not gonna do anything with that running back core. They are promising, but at the same time, you gotta watch out. So those are my top 7 studs and my least favorite duds, or I don't know. Either way, they're all duds, and they did bad this week. So I hope you guys enjoyed my list. Waiver wires is tonight, so I hope you guys got everything locked in. I have about 3 or 4. They're mostly wide receivers, couple of Kansas City wide receivers maybe. I think I'm picking up maybe Washington's wide receiver McLaurin, because he's done really pretty solid. He seems like a good number 1 for them at least. And then I need to pick up a different kicker, because my kicker has been not great. I mean, he could do better, but for me, kickers are come and go. I mean, as long as I score you about 6 points every week, I'm happy with that. But when they're scoring you 3 to 5, maybe even 1, you gotta go. There's a road jack. Don't you come back no more. Sorry, that's a really bad joke. So I'm gonna have a few drops coming through. Maybe Njoku. Maybe there's so many. I probably won't be able to do my video on my ads and drops for this week. I just had a really busy week, so I will try my best. But most likely, I'm gonna be doing my starts and sits of the week by Friday or Saturday. So I hope you guys tune into that. Please leave a comment down below for questions on who you would start or sit in your lineup, so I can answer that on my next video. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, tell your friends. Just do whatever you can. I'm trying to get my page up so I can get more content out. Let me know what I can do better with. I'm trying here. This is my first year, and I hope you guys are being patient with me, because I'm gonna only be doing better from here. So I really appreciate you listening to me. This has been Tuesday night. I've been Daniel. You've been awesome. Stay awesome and stay humble. All right. See you guys later.